Today, we're going to learn how to factor by grouping, and we are going to look specifically at polynomials with 4 terms today. So, for our first example, I want you to notice we have 4 terms. We have a third degree polynomial, and we're going to factor by grouping by just looking at the things that we can take out of the first pair of terms and the second pair of terms. So if we look at the first pair, we can say, well, 9 and 7 don't have any common factors, but p squared can be taken out of both of them. So we can write p squared, and that would leave us with 9p plus 7. Okay? When we look at the second pair, we can take out, well, they're both negative, so I can take out a negative. And what else can I take out? Well, it looks like they're both even, so I can take out a 2. When I do that, I get 9p plus 7. Now, when we factored trinomials with lead coefficients, we saw this. We saw these groups, and we said, look at that. These are the same. So when we have our factoring, we know that that's 9p plus 7. And then you'll notice we have this part hanging out here, p squared minus 2. It's worth a look to see if we can factor it out, because that does have a p squared, but this is not a difference of squares, so we're actually done just like that. So this can be intimidating, but this isn't that much different than the thing we've done with trinomials. Let's take a look at this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to underline the first 2, underline the second 2. I can take an r squared, but let's do the numbers first on this first pair. I can take a 6 out. No, 6 doesn't go into 39, but 3 does. So 3 and r squared leaves me with 2r minus 13. What can I take out of the second pair? Well, you might notice that the second pair is already 2r minus 13. So I can take out a positive 1. Could rewrite my factors just as they are, 2r minus 13 and 3r squared plus 1. Can I factor these anymore? There's no more common factors, and then this is a sum, not a difference, so we are done. So these can get a little bit more difficult. Not much, but one thing they can do to try to trip you up is they can put them out of order. So if you look at this one, we've got, that's the j cubed, and then the j squared is over here. So when it's out of order, it makes it much more difficult to pull out the pairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite it in order. And if I do that, I have 35j cubed plus 21j squared plus 15j plus 9. And now that I have it in order, it's going to be much easier to pull apart. I see I have a 7j squared, and that leaves me with 5j plus 3. And I have a 3 I can take out of the second one, which leaves me with 5j plus 3. And so I can see that I've got my 2 factors, 5j plus 3 and 7j squared plus 3. Well, another thing they could do is they could give you 2 different variables. So you notice there's no squares or cubes in this one, but we have j's and k's. So if we start pulling this apart, I'm going to leave it in the order it's in because we have the 2 j's right up front. So I know I can take the 2 j's out of here. So I would take out 2 j's. I'm also going to take out a 5. So I'm going to take 5j. And well, that would leave me with 3k minus 4. When I look at the second pair, I'll notice this negative right here. And if I take out a negative 3, that would give me 3k minus 4. Sweet. Always a hint, if you have a negative in front of there, I almost always take out a negative because I'd rather the first term being positive. So when we look at this, we now have 3k minus 4 and 5j minus 3. And that's that.